Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World, the off-grid project. Oh, I can't see, I'm trying to adjust my eyes to the light in here. I am working on the water system today, trying to improve things and make it a little bit better around here. So, get myself a path into here. I am properly mounting everything. As you can see, it's not too bad out today. It's a halfway decent weather day. I am not wanting to shorten that hose right now, although I may end up needing to do so. I might just end up cutting it off because this is too awkward. This hose is too long. What I'm going to do is, this is where it's going to live, is right here on the wall. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut that off. Let me go get my pliers and clamps. I hope I have a clamp for that. I'm going to shorten that tube. I'm going to properly mount the plumbing system to the wall up higher where the warmth is generally, where it's warmer. Then I'm going to be hooking up the high pressure line to my water tank, which is over here. For now, that's my main water tank, and eventually it'll be hooked up to one of the big 275 gallon totes. And now I can start cleaning this place up. In the winter, I had everything stashed in the shed, and all that's my survival gear that I had stashed in here when I emptied the motorhome. But made for a good place, and it protected everything. The shed has withstood some serious storms and abuse, and now it's time to start putting things back together. Spring is in the air, and I've got to get running water in the tiny house on wheels now. While I was going to Michigan, I had it all undone, and I had everything disconnected, and now I'm back, and it's time to get things put together right. Okay, after much searching, I don't know if I have any clamps to cut that line, so I'm just going to put this together because I might have to make a trip into town to get those lines, and I want this to work. I can cut that after I go to town next time. Right now I just want this hooked up. Eventually I want to get a bigger accumulator, much bigger. Oops, okay. That's fine. No, it won't bother anything now. I've got some high pressure line braided tubing. Make sure I'm recording. Can't see what's going on here. I want to come from there to the output of my water tank. And then all I should have to do is flip the, turn on the power, flip the switch, and have running water. Hopefully, I should have running water in a tiny house on wheels again. The weather has turned warmer, so I don't have too much danger of freezing anymore. I hope this is long enough to fit. I think it's going to work. Nice. This is heavy duty braided RV tubing. I hope it's the right size nozzle. It is standard RV tubing. I hope it fits. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna. It's stiff, but it is high pressure. Okay, that'll work. I don't have my Leatherman on me today. I'll have to get a screwdriver and put that on. That's the input side of the lines anyway. So that will go down to my tank, my water tank. I'm not cutting that because that'll leave me the option of later adjusting the system for hooking it up to the big tote. Alright, I'm going to get a screwdriver and be back in a minute. And also, yeah, it's a good thing I didn't cut that yet. I still have to put on the water filter in between. Yeah, I've got to put the water filter on the high pressure side. So I'm probably going to move these over some more and put the water on the high pressure side, or the water filter, as I was advised, after the accumulator. And then, so that'll go right in line there. Yeah, and we'll have a proper water supply here. Running water in the tiny house on wheels again. Okay, I've got the water working. The other water pump had taken a blow to the bottom, so I'm going to have to see if I can epoxy it or fix it or something. But in the meantime, I hooked up a different water pump that I had, and I've got the electrical going and everything. Well, it's all there. I still have to hook up the water filter on the high pressure side and trim the PEX line to fit. And I'll probably move these over a little bit then. But it works. Good afternoon, everybody. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. It was a beautiful day today. Clear skies. It was supposed to be raining today, but it was clear skies. There's a sliver of a moon there. But that's not why I brought the camera out. You're going to see something new here today at the old homestead. That new thing is a beautiful truck. This was a wedding gift from my mom and dad for Melanie and myself. A very, very beautiful wedding gift, I must say. It's a 1995 Dodge Dakota in mint condition with 100,000 miles on it. And Melanie and I drove it all the way back from Michigan. This thing is smooth. Gets 18 miles to the gallon on the highway. Beautiful. Look at those custom curbs on this truck. Really beautiful truck. I don't know if I'm ever going to want to drive this in the winter, to be honest. It's two-wheel drive only, so that's not beneficial to drive it in the winter anyway. And I just wouldn't want to hurt it. But it's going to be a great, great tool here at the homestead. Everybody knows I need a truck. Now it's got a tonneau cover, which does work. It did take us some trouble to get it on, so I used zip ties to get it last way because it had shrunk. It's got dual exhaust and a nice rumble to it. It's got a V6, automatic V6. It's got a Reese hitch with the original Dodge cover, which is nice, and that is a rugged hitch built right into that frame. All custom work all the way around the truck. This has been professionally redone by a company. There's a tag in the door that shows that this was a custom job, this truck. There's no other truck like this on the road, I believe. Beautiful truck. I want to say again, thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you so much for such an amazing, beautiful gift for Melanie and myself. It's a great way to start out a relationship or a family. So, inside, we're still unpacking it from the trip, so forgive if you see any mess. Leather seats, spotless interior. Custom woodworking on the dash. Up top, I'll probably show you another day, but there's the center console lights up. I don't have my key on me, and it won't. Yeah, I need the key. The center console, or that centerpiece on the ceiling, lights up really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. 6-seater, so it's got a bench seat, and it's got a bench in the back. Custom woodworking in the back as well. The only flaw in the truck is the headliner is starting to sag a little bit. Doesn't make any difference at all because the headliner is stuck on there from that centerpiece, which is also all wood, real wood. Just beautifully done truck. Really, really nice truck. So, thank you, Mom and Dad. I made it from New York to Michigan, 75 miles an hour most of the way. 70 to 75 miles an hour, depending on the road you're on. And it purrs like a kitten, runs smooth, idles smooth, starts smooth. I'll show you another time. Right now, I'm out working on, I've been working all day on maple syrup collection, so let me take you out to the shed. What we have going on here is a furious boil. Now this is what, it's scary looking because, let me go back from a distance. Don't know if you can see that. It's getting darker out. I'll have to show you another time. But it looks like it's on fire. It looks like the whole sugar shack is on fire because there's gray, like, it looks like clouds of smoke billowing out of the sugar shack. But that's not what it is. Oh, my temporary exhaust is working well. What we got here is maple sap boiling out. So, although there's some flames licking out the sides, and I want to put a piece of metal in the middle, right there, to stop leakage of flames. It is working well. It is working very, very well. And as you can see, I've got a rapid, heavy boil on the back burner. And I'm only feeding in twigs. This is taking hardly anything to burn. So I'm just gathering up twigs and sticks out of the forest to burn this stuff. So very efficient setup. Very, very efficient setup. I gotta toss some more wood in or I'm gonna lose my boil. To get a rolling boil, all you need is a handful of sticks and twigs in there. There's nothing in there. It's just a really efficient setup. This is really exceeding my expectations for efficiency. Just some sticks and twigs. And it's really rolling hot. Wrong hand. It is really working well. So, we've got a sugar shack in action here. So I've been working all day on gathering sap. I've got some empty jugs over here. I've got some 5-gallon containers over here. And I've been boiling down sap. I can't really tell you what it's like today because I've been doing other things as well. Did the plumbing and spent some time with Melanie today. And anyway, that's what I've been up to all day, is gathering maple syrup, working on the evaporator, and I did a test burn and experimented a little bit first. I didn't have my camera with me because I was out in the forest and I just wanted to get it done. So, and I honestly didn't know what the results would be, so I didn't want to embarrass myself if I had a problem. But there we go, and that's why the sides of the shack are open, to allow that stuff to boil off into the air without making a gooey mess of everything. But anyway, happiness, all is well here at the Off-Grid Homestead. Well, that's what you want right there, everybody. A rolling boil. Can't really see in there very much though because of all the steam coming off. That's what you got. That's what you want. And it's a super, super efficient setup. This is burning way less fuel than what I used last year with the cement block setups. And now that I've got it figured out, I'm not even blowing flame out the top. Once you get a good set of coals down inside the wood stove, it's mega efficient to boil the sap. Now, the front burner, the front pan is not boiling as hot as the back pan. And I don't know exactly why that is the entire time this is so. It could be because there's a breeze coming in directly hitting that pan from the open doorway of the sugar shack. That could be the problem. I'm not sure. But this will take me time to learn how to regulate the temperature and how to maintain a proper boil. But it's definitely a success. I am very pleased with this. I'm going to get a grinder. A lot of people have mentioned getting an angle grinder, and I'm going to grind off the edges of that metal, the hanging ugly edges of that metal. And whoops, there, the flames are starting to lick up a little bit higher. I just put some more fuel in there, but I'm very pleased with the progress so far. Very pleased. There's two things I'm going to need out here, I notice. One is a light, because it's black. And you can see there's no flames leaking out of the sides of that. I am going to put a piece of metal, I'm going to get some metal bar to fit that. And then I've got gasket material to fill in the gaps, and that'll make it even more efficient. That's one thing I need. I need to get a solar light in here. Solar LED light set of some kind. And I need a chair in here, because I'm standing the whole entire time. I'm going to have to get a bar stool. That'd be the perfect thing, is to get a bar stool in here so I can sit here and keep an eye on what's going on in there. Because I find myself just standing here watching it boil, at least for now while I'm learning. Every single stove has its own character, and since I cut this stove open, it's got a different character than it would have had originally, and it's way, way, way different and more efficient than the rigged up setup I had last year. And of course the advantage again is I can do this no matter what the weather. That's a great thing. So all good and happy. I just refilled both containers a few minutes ago and then cranked up the stove to a blazing fire inside and got both tins to rolling boil again. And whoa, that was weird. I don't know if you saw that. The fire went out for a second. That was so weird. There's a breeze blowing, so that wind really affects the stove a lot. I just damped down the stove because I want to go in and have dinner, and I closed the air intake door. I had it propped up with a sawzall blade, and I just closed that down to damp it off to keep the fire to a lower, safer level while I'm inside. And I'll come and check that again later. But look at that boiling. That's what you want to see right there. That's good. Alright, well everybody, I'm not sure if I'll be doing any more recording. I'm probably going to take this in and get this video up for the day, for your viewing pleasure in the morning. So I'll talk to you all later, unless something else comes up. I'll talk to you all later. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Maple sap, boiling maple syrup today.